we are back on the draw once again. And it's a bit heavy on land. I don't think you mulligan it. But if we draw some more lands, it's obviously not gonna be ideal. Yeah, somehow I feel like lately I'm always on the draw. It might just be psychological and not really the case. Or maybe I'm just running kind of unlucky with stars. But I really, it's been 3 days in a row that I'm saying next day you're just gonna note everything, keep a record of what's going on, and make sure you're actually losing a lot of die rolls and not just making up things. But I feel like I've been losing more than 75% of my die roll in the last 3, which could happen, you know. It's probably a bit less than that. Counterspell Dust Legions, wow, okay. I'll take that. But yeah, it's been kind of weird. I don't know. It could be just again my imagination. When something happens a bit more often than usual, you might feel like it's even more than that. I don't think there's anything really happening, but it's been a little bit odd, especially on Arena. I've been playing quite a bit of Arena lately. I feel like I'm losing like 90% of my die roll in Arena, and since it's only one game, it's not a match. Wow, losing the die roll is just... And it's really, you know, it's not standard, but it's very aggressive curve out format. I don't think we're interested in casting anything here. There's a decent chance they have exclude. They are under pressure, they need to do something. I don't think we want to play into their counterspell, especially if they're a little bit stuck on land. Don't want to play into their exclude. And, you know, they get to draw and get out of that. That was a decent top deck. We'll try to play Kongmin. I think there's a good chance it gets countered. And they probably have another counterspell, but I'm a little bit more willing to play into counterspell here than into exclude on the previous turn. Also would have to be the second counterspell, which, you know, it's a common. It's not impossible. Maybe I should have baited with an Earth. I don't think they would have taken the bait, but I had no reason not to bait. Maybe they would have taken the bait and this would have been really good for us. Yeah. So I'm sure they have exclude in hand. Okay, it's good if they tap out and we can resolve something. Yeah. Maybe they don't have exclude. Are they playing mono blue? Mono blue seems like a very bad deck in this set. I don't think you can make it work, but... Seven Lion doesn't attack well at all into this board, so I don't see any reason to play it when we can hold it and boost the Griffin on the following turn. We need to stop drawing lands. Are we playing... Did I mess up? No, we're playing 16. I don't think you can afford to play 15. But... maybe should have. Are we gonna get outraced by our own Lacerator and some random... This card has been excellent against our deck. I guess it's because of the lack of interaction. Usually you can kill it for 1 or 2 mana. It's very bad against stuff like this figure. Let's bait this time. I mean, I think they let it resolve. So it's not really but we might as well... I'm gonna try to resolve that one. If they have a third count spell, they have a third. Now there's an argument, actually, maybe something I should have thought about here. Where I think I'm attacking with both. If they want to eat my Zealot here and take 2, I'm happy. Yeah. You play Protector first, and if it resolves, you hold the Lion because it's gonna boost both Protector on the following turn, so it's slightly better. That could be a thing. Maybe I should have done that. So we might just attack with Lion next turn, to be fair. Don't really care about Suicide attacking the Lion. It means another creature is dealing 2 or something. Maybe they want to loot before making their blocking decisions. I would probably try to do that. If I know I'm not blocking with a looter, then just loot. And depending on what I find, I might or might not block in a way or another. So they would be at 9 here instead of 8. And next turn we would get to maybe play 2 creature. Doesn't necessarily change the clock. Ghost Ship. Well, this changes a lot not having Lion in hand actually. Because if we draw another creature, yeah, that could make all the difference, playing that Lion on last turn to try baiting. It's kind of funny because I should have baited with a Nurse, and I missed it. And then on the turn after, I was like, let me bait this time. But I should not have baited, because if this resolve, I should have hold of Lion, get more damage. That's kind of funny, I believe. Yeah, this thing is just not attacking. Having it in hand here would be a lot more help. That was a pretty insane top deck. Probably now we win. What happens if we attack with everybody? Not match. It eats the Lion. They cannot afford to take from Lacerator. I think they might have to block with Looter, which would be pretty good for us. I think we're attacking with everybody. Problem is, if they don't block with Looter, they go down to 2, at which point Ghost Ship kill them, not next turn, but following turn, and it's not unlikely they can kill us next turn. Their best shot is doing that and hoping they can deal with both Griffin, but the Pillory top deck was insane. Not sure they can get out. They basically need to deal with 2 Griffins here. And with only blue mana, I'm not sure how they do that. Well, I guess an easy way to do it is play, well, okay, there's some white, which could be a Lion, for example, but they could easily... they have a way to kill us, maybe. No. They could play a Lion, bounce the Ghost Ship back to their hand, replay it, for example. Horseshoe Crab. Doesn't change anything. They get out of that. I don't see it right now. I don't see a good reason to attack with Lacerate. The card I could have here. There's something, I guess, since they haven't been conceding. Sword their own Ghost Ship. That does the trick, okay. Yeah. That's the thing they needed here. Probably one of the only card in the set that could save them the mana they had access to. I don't think of anything else. So if we had drawn a creature, we would have won. Yeah, there was no way. Sword was just exactly what they needed. They're probably close to mono blue, just splashing for a little bit of white, it seems. I don't think we're changing anything. This is another game we would have won by being on a play. Like match 1, we would have won if we had won the die roll. Most likely we would have won round 1. Then obviously they would have been on a play game 2 and, you know, can't tell. But our deck is just a curve out deck that loses a ton by not being on a play. So even mouse to 6 with the card on top. So yeah, missing the losing all the die rolls. Kind of rough. That was a good deck. The problem when you're playing a deck that's pretty reactive, one of counterspell like their deck, is if your opponent curves out like that and you're behind, you don't get to counterspell. And you can play stuff to try crawling back, but then if they play more stuff, it's not fair, and it's enough an uphill battle. It's very difficult to win. And this is why being on the play is so important. Like here, if I had been on draw, they would have probably countered the knight, and then I have way less pressure. They can probably buy more time. Now they need to do something pre-match. Yeah. Being on the play. Horseshoe crown. That's fine. We can resolve Kongmin and attack. But also go in Hunter Lacerate. I like this play a little bit more, especially since we just drew Lacerator. One of the reasons I like this play is, well, Mono Blue doesn't have a lot of revolve. Obviously, they could go white into Swords to Plowshare, but right now they don't have white, as far as we know. Or sword, for that matter. And this play avoids, well, there's a couple combo with Crab. One of the things they could have in Mono Blue would be Retraction Helix, bounce close to everything we have, pretty much every creature we have, and then they are set up back in the game. Whereas if we exile Crab, it's gonna be way more difficult for them. To do something like that. Okay, now the question is, do we attack with Savannah Lion? Definitely peeling the Kongmin. They can eat Lion, take 8 down to 2. Or I attack with this and they take 5 down. I think I'm willing to sack Lion. 2 means we have 4 lethal creature. They kill Kongmin. 2 lethal creature. We'll have to play around Swords to Plowshare. Well, huh. No, still tapping the white. Interesting. Well, they could have Retraction Helix, bounce Kongmin mid-combat. Let's imagine they do that. Lunark Mental. Yeah, if they have a Helix, they can survive. But playing Mental's not gonna help. So let's say they have Helix. They block here and there, bounce Kongmin. Trade here, eat that, take 1 down to 1. Or they bounce Fin Hunter before blocks. Let's say we Lunark Mental the Fin Hunter. Then they could bounce it before block, get back their Horseshoe Crab, but they only have 2 blockers, so they die. Yeah, this means playing the Mental here means we beat Retraction Helix, which is one of the only things I can think of right now. And obviously if they cancel, rise or counterspell. We need like Simian Spirit Guide, Bolt. Not very likely. Okay. Close to mono blue control with a little bit of white. We'll probably need to make sure we keep a hand that can curve out. It's pretty important. Path of Peace seems fine, but I'm not sure what we can cut for that. Unarch Mantle seems pretty mediocre. No, actually I'll keep it. A Nurse is pretty great, I believe. Though, yeah, I guess they will counter some of our creatures, so some stuff will get into graveyard even though they don't have a ton of removal. Nurse is really good in a way that for just 1 mana we can probably put a threat that costs 2 or maybe 3 on the battlefield and probably overload the opponent a little bit and not let them just have a counter for 1 threat every turn. An answer. If we cast several threatening things on the same turn, a Nurse being cheap helping that, we're more likely gonna get there. Yeah, I was a little bit down after round 1, to be honest. But like, maybe the deck was just pretty bad. I think it's fine again. I think it's, as I said in draft and deck building, it's average but solid. Would not be ashamed to, you know, have these as my top 8 draft or an important event or what have you. Not insane, but you don't really get to draft the most insane deck every. It's interesting because our opponent is playing mainly blue with a little white splash, it seems, which could means that Reshendon Port is kind of good because if they just have 1 planes and you can stop it, it's good. The thing is, the only white card we've seen is Swords to Plowshare, so I don't think this is really good. Otherwise, I could have considered bringing that thing in. There's a white right away. I think it's no turn to counterspell, which is kind of good for us, I believe. That's very good for us too. If it gets Sword to Plowshare, is also fine. We trade 1 mana for 1 mana, and we get 2 life, and we get one of their best spell out of the way. Turn to Looter, solid too. Hope we don't get stuck on 2. A way we can easily lose is if we get stuck on 2 and we don't get to the more threat. Wrong. We don't really want to get stuck and fight in the late game with them. We need to deploy our threats, force them to do things, react. If they can just freely cast their things because we're not doing anything, or while we're not doing anything, and then have the counters to back it up, this is gonna be difficult. The Angelic Page looking pretty great here, if anything. Doing a lot against Grab. We have a decent body here. Lion is basically virtually a 3-2. Oh, I'm toking and I missed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I no damage. I should have pumped here. Obviously, getting 1 more damage was toking. About the Lion, yeah, Lion's virtually 3-2, so it's decent body, but we kind of need to draw land. We basically have the great luck of drawing 2 lands and literally all of our 4 drops. So, yeah, clunky. That's fine. Imagine they are holding Counterspell. Yeah, it's kind of rough. All the 4 drops. I guess we're gonna play that Ghoul. It's gonna get countered. It's not really a big deal. The card we care about resolving are the 4 drops mainly, which are pretty impactful. Sure. Could kill the crab. Or I could kill Guide. and deal 3. I think I like killing... Crab is a little bit frightening. Can I move things around though? Can I order my blockers? Game, please? Okay, it seems like it's working. I think I like getting Crab out of the way. It avoids random shenanigans like retraction helix and whatnot. Or, you know, an arbalest and suddenly you're losing. And this deck doesn't have a lot of reinvol, so pretty important, I think, to get rid of that. Yeah, this gets counter, not a big deal. Interestingly enough, they did not loot, which could either be a misclick or, you know, just forgetting, or they have the perfect hand. But unless you have literally all the best cards in your deck in hand, pretty much always supposed to loot. Yeah, that seems... That's not great. They will just block with guide and lose twice. But the thing is, we're stuck. We have nothing to do. They already have a pretty good hand and a looter, so I'm not sure giving them more loot changes match. And I think we have to take a chance of them making a misplay and blocking with Murder of Crows. Even if it's very, very unlikely. Like, there's not many chances they do that, but... They have something that's better than Ghost Ship, and now they're hesitating again. Congregate is garbage. Seems like an easy discard. They do have something else that's good, so I'm quite worried, not gonna lie. We have a bunch of spells in hand, but we need to draw this land quickly. We're not, like, we're under quite a bit of pressure, and the good news is, like, we have no bad draws in deck. Like, all the lands are good, and we don't have anything that costs more than 3 left in the deck. There's that. Zealot. It's fine. And I imagine the card they chose to keep over Ghost Ship and Congregate seems to be a counter spell since they are holding mana now. That's not great, but we'll play it. I guess I could also try to go for block with page, boost the page, supernatural stamina the page. I'm like 90% sure one of the last card in their hand is land though. Huh, playing their land here is interesting. They either have a 6-drop, that's weird because they have a looter, so they must have a 6-drop, otherwise playing land drop, you know, is pretty bad. You'd rather discard them and find spells. Or not. Oh, they have Sift and they want a hold count spell. Yeah, they're like 99% sure to have a count spell in hand. And we could have maybe won by drawing a 4th land earlier. Then, you know, something gets countered, we resolve something else, it's fine. We still get to probably outrace them. But now it's too late. Even if we draw a land now, it's gonna get countered. And yeah. This one. I like the deck. I think it's fine. Not amazing, but fine. But yeah. These were pretty difficult draws. I mean, let's imagine they have literally nothing in hand, which I don't think is possible. We could technically come back trading page, or rather stamina for Murder of Crows. But and with Brainstorm and loot, I imagine they will be able to get rid of anything that's not good. And we know they have a counterspell as one of their last cards, and it's just gonna beat stamina play. And then we can play Griffin, but we'll be forced into chump blocking most likely. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no way out. If we had drawn the Force Land one turn sooner, maybe? But even then, it would have been difficult. This will get countered. The page will get eaten. Looting first. Maybe they don't have it yet. No, I doubt it. Yeah, this will get countered. No? What? What? Well, with this trade happening, we might actually be back in the game. Wow. This just happened. Still worried. I imagine whatever's left in their hand is good. Unless they are super flooded because there were like 10 lands on the top of the library. Wow. How? Huh. I really did not expect that thing to resolve. We're still in trouble, but we're not dead. Yeah, that's oh, that was surprising. Okay, let's resolve Kongmin so we get to attack with Lacerator. Either trade with Phalanx or put them down to lower than 10, at which one this doesn't hurt us anymore. We also drew Pillaroo, which is kind of nice. This is gonna be difficult, but I think one turn ago I thought we were 1% chance to win. I'm logging here. If they want to swords my Kongmin, eat my Dust Legion Zealot, no problem. If we trade, it's great. Yeah. 2 turns ago I thought we were like 5% chance to win, and suddenly we're more like in the 30, which is not amazing, but much better. Wow. We might be getting there. I'm not sure what the 2 cards in their hand are, but I'm really surprised we were able to kill that Murder of Crows. I guess Open Draw's just maybe a lot more clunky than I thought, and despite all the looting, they're stuck with land. But you know, when they discarded Ghost Ship, was a lot of time ago, I assumed they had something better, right? Which could have been the Sift, maybe? I was expecting something a lot stronger. Okay. Are we attacking with Kongmin here? That's an interesting spot because most of the time you're not happy to make the trade, right? However, this morph could very well be a 3-2 unblockable, to which we lost round 1. And I think if it's the case, they are not gonna block. And if it isn't, well, maybe we make a bad trade, but if it isn't, we're not under any pressure, which is, I think we have, basically here we have to play for the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that thing is a 3-2. Oh, it was. They still chose to trade. Huh. This thing was gonna 2-shot us. I mean, Kongmin's good, but interesting. This gets countered. Hopefully not exclude, just regular counterspell would be fine. Left with 1 card in hand. I mean, they're looting. Eventually, Arcane Denial. That's kind of good for us, actually. Can they find out? I wonder how many win condition they have. I mean, we're at 6. Got rid of Ghost Ship, Murder of Crows, Mystic somehow. They're like kind of light on win conditions, maybe. It seems. This could be another 3-2, unfortunately, which we're not gonna beat, I believe. Are they attacking with Luther here? I'm not sure the Luther changes the clock, really. No, that's not true. Puts us down to 5. No, I guess it doesn't really change anything. If this is a 3-2, we take 4 next turn, it still doesn't really change match. Okay, we're gonna bait with Urg Raiders. I mean, if they have pacifism, Urg Raiders are gonna kill us, but if they have pacifism, I don't think we're winning, so I don't think there's a reason to play around that. Obviously not gonna Ancient Craving and die. So yeah, let's go Urg Raiders. Hope it gets countered, maybe. Though I guess they don't really have mana to counter unless they have another Arcane Denial. And then drop Protector. If this is another 3-2, I think we're cold. Most likely. Do we move the Sai? I think we do, yeah. So yeah, it means that any creature gives us lethal in the air. I guess we have enough mana where we can probably move the Sai no matter what we want to do. So the thing is indeed a 3-2. Oh. Sword their Ranger. That probably means the thing is a 3-2. But then it's weird, they should have flipped it end of my turn and used Sword. Now it's way more mana efficient. Yeah. They basically... Yeah, there's no way their sequencing was right here. I guess it's not going to change anything, we're still going to lose that thing. But the sequencing was off, in my opinion. You have no reason to Sword end of my turn, flip that during your turn. You can do it the other way around and save mana right now. They would have access to 5 mana. It probably doesn't matter, but still. I don't think we have any out here. Fin Hunter, I guess, could help. Don't think Lunarch Mental's in the deck anymore. Yeah, basically Fin Hunter, hope this is not another Mystic. Gonna be a land. Alright. Yeah, I mean, we got stuck for a little while and now it's logical we're drawing the lands we haven't been drawing earlier. I mean, curious and seeing... Oh, they're not blocking with it. I wanted to know what it is. I guess we can just concede and we'll know what it is. Wonder if it's another Mystic. Alright, let's Ancient Craving. We're pretty close here. Again, as I said, I thought we were like 5% to win at some point. It went from 5% to 30, but we're still pretty likely to lose. Yeah. Well, they kind of drew the second Mystic right on time. If they had drawn it one turn later, we'd have won, I think. Okay. That was interesting. I hope you enjoyed the draft. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you guys for another draft, probably some Modern Cube as I mentioned in the draft video.